Thank you very much, Shelley. And can I just thank Shelley and Phil Brown for having organised all of us to come up to Brisbane. I've come up from Sydney today and happened to find myself on the same plane as Australia's Human Rights Commissioner, Tim Wilson, who I coincidentally ran into not knowing that he was coming up here to speak as well. So thank you to Shelley and to Phil and to the Uniting Church for putting this great event on. I would also say that the last time I was involved in a similar forum to this, it was a forum that had adversarial opinions on it. In fact, the Reverend Fred Nile was on that panel, and it really led to some robust discussion. We also had a dyed-in-the-wool libertarian, an upper house member in New South Wales by the name of Peter Phelps, who is a dyed-in-the-wool libertarian, and he argued the point that the state shouldn't be in marriage whatsoever. Just get out of it altogether. It's just a contract between two people. So this forum tonight is probably going to be a little bit different because I think we're mostly on the same page, although I could never tell what Tim's going to say when he gets up. But I would say, and it's probably the Peter Phelps argument, but Tim and I have already had a little bit of discussion around the idea of marriage as a human right. Tim commissioned me to write an essay in a book that he edited a year ago, as the kind of classical liberal, to put that opinion forward, and asked me, it was about marriage equality, asked me to put the classical liberal viewpoint forward, and in fact I argued it from the basis of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which does actually define marriage as being a human right, but it unfortunately defines marriage as being a human right between a man and a woman. And that's the Universal Declaration. I'm at odds with Tim. He disagrees with that. He regards marriage as a civil right. My instinct and my feeling is that it is actually a human right, but I'm sure he'll dispute that and he'll argue it much more effectively than I am when his turn comes. But I guess I come to this from a slightly different viewpoint in as much as I have been married. I'm a gay woman, I'm a lesbian, but I was married for 20 years. I have 4 children. So I know the significance of marriage as an institution. I know how that speaks to your community, to your friends, to your family, and what it says about the special relationship you have with your partner. And so I know how it feels to be a gay woman who is excluded from that special club, from that special relationship. So I do have a strong feeling about that. I'm also, I guess, in a little bit of a way, a representative of the microcosm of Australian society, in as much as people would know, in my family, there's strong differences of opinion about what defines marriage. My brother, the Prime Minister, is very much of the view that marriage is the institution as defined by the Marriage Act, which follows the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that marriage is between a man and a woman. I don't believe that's the case. I think that marriage can be an institution that recognises the special nature of a union between two people, whether or not they are male and female, or male and male, or female and female. So that gives me, I guess, a different perspective as well. I'm used to arguing that point within my own family. I'm used to taking it out to the community and arguing it, and as I say, that's why I quite enjoyed arguing with the Reverend Fred Nile in the last forum of this sort that I did. But also, I'm as Shelley mentioned, I'm a Liberal politician. So I'm quite close to, in local government, local government has no jurisdiction over marriage, but I am quite close to Liberals and to the Liberal Party, obviously. And so I discuss it with my brother, and I've already described his view, that is his view, but his view has definitely moved from the 2010 election to the 2013 election. The Liberal Party went to the 2010 general election with a policy of marriage being as it is defined under the current Marriage Act. He went to the 2013 election with it very much being on the table out there that it would be a matter for discussion when it comes up under the term of if it came up under the term of the current Parliament. Senator David Leyonhjelm has said that he is going to put up a private member's bill on marriage equality, and if that occurs, then it will become a matter of discussion for the party room, and for my federal colleagues. And it is my view that we don't actually have to talk to the leader of the party, because his view is clear. He will respect the wishes of the party room. If the party room tells him that they want a conscience vote on this issue, my brother's a very good Liberal, and he's a very good leader of the party, and if that's what his party room tells him, that's what he will accept, and that will be the position of the party. What I think we need to do, all of us in this room, is talk to all of our, and Shelley's alluded to this, talk to all of our federal MPs, be them, you don't really need to talk to the Greens because it's party policy, but the Labor Party MPs need to be spoken to. Certainly the Liberal Party MPs need to be spoken to, because there is still resistance to this idea in both parties. There are big sections of the right wing of the Labor Party that still intransigently oppose marriage equality. There are certainly members of the Liberal Party that oppose it. But if we all speak, send your grandmother, send your mother, send your grandfather along to your local MP to argue the point that marriage equality is a great reform. It will actually strengthen the fibre of Australian society rather than undermine it. Then, if those MPs can go into their party room, particularly the Liberal ones, and feel some confidence, and I know Rodney will talk about the results of the Crosby-Textor polling, which gives all of us, I think, some confidence on that. They can go into the party room and know that it won't do them any damage in their electorates if they argue for a conscience vote. And if that argument is strong, if it's heard, it will be accepted, and it will be the position of the Liberal Party. I'm very confident. I can't guarantee it, but I feel very confident speaking to my federal colleagues and speaking to people around the country and in the community that is what is going to happen. So thank you for having me. I'm not going to speak. I've already spoken about 5 minutes longer than I thought I was going to speak, but I'm really looking forward to the Q&A, because that's the fun part of this. After you get all of us, there's a really long line there, after you get all of us over with. So thank you very much.